Good morning, children. This is Solid State Chemistry, Lecture 5. In this lecture, we will do imperfections, that is, defects in solids. Topics covered so far. In Lecture 1, we have done definition of solids and its different types, isotropy, anisotropy, unit cell parameters, calculation of atom per unit cell. In lecture 2, we have done packing fraction and density, coordination number calculation of simple cubic, face-centered cubic and body-centered cubic system, packing in 2 dimensions, numericals for finding out the formula of a compound. And after that, in lecture 3, we have completed packing in 3 dimensions. And lecture 4, we have done characteristics and structures of different types of crystalline solids, dimensions of trigonal, tetrahedral and octahedral voids, structure of NaCl, calculation of number of sodium and chloride ions in a unit cubic cell of sodium chloride crystal, coordination number of sodium and chloride ion. Now from here we will start imperfections or defects in solid. Crystal possesses perfectly ordered arrangement at absolute zero. Only at absolute zero you will get the perfectly ordered arrangement in a crystal that correspond to the state of lowest energy. That means the zero, absolute zero corresponds to the state of lowest energy, and in that temperature, at that temperature only, you will get that the crystal is having a perfectly ordered arrangement. But at higher temperature, if you increase the temperature, the arrangement of the constituent particles deviate from the perfectly ordered arrangement. It is happening because of the temperature. This arrangement, this ordered arrangement is little bit deviated, which is termed as imperfection or defects in crystal. Imperfection in crystals change their properties and sometimes may also give rise to new properties. Sometimes these defects are deliberately created. Why? To improve the properties of the crystals. So that means you can understand that if we will increase the temperature, the ordered arrangement may change. It can deviate from its perfectly ordered arrangement. And it will give rise to new properties, and sometimes deliberately we are doing it. Now all the defects in a crystal, I have given this in a table or tabulated form. It is written here in a tabulated form. You can see that the imperfections defect first. It is divided into 3 parts: electronic defects, atomic defect and impurity defect. Now electronic defects I will tell you, but this is not so important. I will tell you what is that electronic defect. Atomic defect again is divided into 2 parts: point defect and lattice defect. Come to point defect. Now in point defect it is again divided into 2 parts, that is stoichiometric defect and non-stoichiometric defect. In stoichiometric defect, we are having 4 parts: vacancy defect, interstitial defect, Schottky defect and Frankel defect. And in non-stoichiometric defect, we are having 3, that is metal excess interstitial cation, then metal deficiency cation vacancy, then metal excess anion vacancy. Metal deficiency cation vacancy and metal excess anion vacancy. Now, atomic defects, as I told you, is divided into two parts, point defects and the lattice defect. Now, lattice defect is again divided into two parts, plane defect and line defect. Now, the third part of the imperfections, that is impurity defect. That impurity defect is divided into two parts, in covalent solids and in ionic solids. So, here in this lecture 5, we will do up to this much. Up to this much. This impurity defect we will do in the next lesson. Here in this lesson, we will do up to this lattice defect. We will do electronic defect, atomic defect, point defect, lattice defects, and all these things we will do. Only impurity defect we will do in the next lesson. The first is electronic defect. Electronic defect is crystal possesses perfect ordering at absolute zero. As I told you, the crystal is having a perfect ordering at absolute zero. At higher temperature, some of the electrons may get excited and occupy higher energy level. It's very important. At higher temperature, some of the electrons may get excited and occupy higher energy level. Number third, these electrons are released from covalent bonds present in the covalent crystal. This is the example of silicon crystal I have taken. Now, silicon, they are having covalent bond in between. Now, from this covalent bond, because of something, because of the temperature, as I am increasing the temperature, because of some reason, maybe one electron are released from the covalent bond. See, from here, electron released. This is one electron released from this covalent bond. And if the electron is released, it is creating a hole. See the fourth point. These electrons are also free to move inside the crystal. Now, where that electron will go? It will free to move inside the crystal, and as the electron will move inside the crystal, it will conduct electricity. Okay. Now, see the fifth point. Electron deficient covalent bond produced by the migration of electron is called a hole. As the electron will come from here, this covalent bond, silicon-silicon covalent bond, then it will create a hole because electron is not there, so it will create a hole. Now, this hole can conduct electricity, but the movement of the hole is opposite to that of the electron. If this hole is created here, that means electron is coming out from here. From here, the electron is coming out. To fulfill that, it is creating a hole here. That means if the electron is moving there, the hole is creating in the opposite side, from the opposite side. So it is written, the hole also conduct electricity, but the movement of the hole is opposite to that of the electron. Okay. Now, free holes and electrons present in the crystal are called electronic imperfections. These free holes and the electrons present in the crystal, that is electrons is moving in the crystal, this is known as electronic imperfection. Now, you can see here B is written. This B means now it is having, as the electron is going away from the covalent bond, it is having 3 electrons, 1, 2 and 3. So this place can be taken by boron. It may not be, it may be. taken by boron. So this is a defect. This defect is known as imperfection defect. Imperfection in crystal. So this defect is known as electronic defect. Am I clear to you? Now next is coming to point defect. Now in point defect we are having two things that I told you. Just remember that slide, that is the flow chart I have given. Point defects are categorized into two categories. The one is stoichiometric and non-stoichiometric, and stoichiometric is having 4 and non-stoichiometric is having 3. All we will discuss. So first let us see what is point defect. Point defects are the irregularities or deviation from ideal arrangement around a point. Ideal arrangement is a deviation from the ideal arrangement around a point or an atom in a crystalline substance. Point defects may further be classified, as I told you, into stoichiometric defect and non-stoichiometric defect. Now, what is stoichiometric defect? When the number of the positive and negative ions, that is the stoichiometry, this is known as the stoichiometry. The positive and the negative ions, the number of the positive and the negative ions, that is the stoichiometry of the crystal, is not disturbed because of the defect. There is a defect. I'll talk about that. The defect is there. We are now talking about the defects in the crystal lattice. But because of the defect, if the stoichiometry, that is the number of the positive and the negative ion, if this is not disturbed, then that defects are referred to as stoichiometric defect. They are also called intrinsic or thermodynamic defect. Now, stoichiometric defect may be observed in both ionic and non-ionic crystal. If it is positive and negative ions, it doesn't mean that it is only with the ionic. It can be done with the non-ionic also. In non-ionic, it is present as the non-ionic crystal. So, the defects can be, the stoichiometric defects can be observed in ionic as well as non-ionic crystal. See, stoichiometric defect, non-ionic and ionic crystal. Non-ionic crystal is giving 2, that is vacancy and interstitial, and ionic crystal is giving you Frankel and Schottky defect. The first in the point defect is vacancy defect. It is a non-ionic crystal. It is for a non-ionic crystal. When some of the lattice sites in a crystal are unoccupied, it is not occupied. Some of the lattice site is not occupied. That means the compound as a whole is not present. So then it is known as vacancy defect. The crystal is said to possess a vacancy defect. Just see the figure. Here is a vacancy, here is a vacancy. Now see this one, this is a vacancy, missing atom. So there is a defect. There is a defect. Now atom missing from an atomic site. It's occurred due to imperfect packing during crystallization. When the crystallization is occurring, then only this imperfection is done. It is not, it is an imperfection is creating when the crystallization is done only. This result in decrease in the density of the substance because the atoms are missing. The atoms are missing. This atom is also not there. This atom is also not there. So naturally the density of the substance will be decreased. And the number of vacancy defects depends on temperature. Okay. Am I clear to you? This is the vacancy defect. The whole atom as a whole, it is not present. So the stoichiometry is not changing. Interstitial defect. Interstitial defect is also a stoichiometric defect when some constituent particles occupy the interstitial side interstitial site, the crystal is said to have interstitial defect. Now, what is interstitial site? We have learned when we were doing the packing of the atoms in a crystal, then the space in between the atoms, this space is known as interstitial space site. The space between the atom. The space between the atom is known as interstitial site. Okay, have you understood? So, when some constituent particles occupy this place, this interstitial space, then that defect is known as interstitial defect. See the figure. See this atom has taken the place interstitial sites in between the atoms. See this one. There are 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And one atom is here in between the interstitial position. And because of that, you can see there is a distortion. There is a distortion. The distortion is seen in this crystal. So, this extra atom position between atomic sites, due to plastic deformation and high energy particle irradiation. That means this is a deformed shape. See the deformed shape. Now, addition of an extra atom within a crystal structure. This defect increases the density of the substance because one extra atom is coming here. So, it is increasing the density of the substance. Causes atomic distortion. And vacancy and interstitial are inverse phenomenon. Vacancy means atom is not there, missing atom. And interstitial means an extra atom is coming there. So they are known as, it is known as interstitial defect. The vacancy and the interstitial defect, they are opposite. Am I clear to you? Schottky defect is also coming under stoichiometric defect, but this Schottky defect and Frankel defect, both the defects are shown by ionic compounds, ionic crystal. Now this defect arises in ionic crystal, as I told you, ionic crystal, when some of the lattice points are unoccupied. These unoccupied sites are called lattice vacancies or holes. Just look at the figure. Now this is an ionic compound like NaCl, KF, alkali halides. Okay, these Schottky defects are shown by ionic compounds, generally alkali halides, NaCl crystal. Now NaCl crystal, you just see that here this one is shown, this one, you just see this is the positive ion. Negative, so this should be positive. The missing of a positive cation. Okay. This is balanced by, you see here in this line, this one. See this one. This is a negative ion. This is a negative ion. This one is a positive ion and this is a negative ion. So it is balanced. Missing of 2. Positive ion is also missing. Negative ion is also missing. Both the ions are missing. So they are creating a hole. Come to this one. Now see, the anion is shown by this balls. And cation is shown by this one, smaller one. Now here you see in this point, This is the point for positive cation. It is missing, and this is the position for anion. This is missing here. And they are balancing with each other. Okay. Now, pair of anion and cation vacancies. In order to maintain electrical neutrality, what we are doing, the number of missing cation and anions are equal. It also decreases the density of the crystal because the ions are missing. So they decreases the density of the crystal. And as I told you, the example is alkali halides as the NaCl and KF. Now this slide, something more for Schottky defects. Schottky defects is common in ionic solid, as I told you. Now cation side vacancy is always accompanied by an equal number of anionic side vacancy. Why? To maintain the electroneutrality. See, from here, A plus is missing. The vacancy created by missing the cation. Now here B minus is missing. Vacancy created by missing anion. It is a crystal which comprises A plus cation and B minus anion. So from here A plus and B minus is missing. One A plus and one B minus is missing. Now this A plus and B minus, the cation, one cation and one anion is missing. These are called Schottky pairs. Schottky pairs. Schottky defect is generally observed in ionic compounds. They show high coordination number. Schottky defects are generally observed in ionic compounds that show high coordination number, and where positive and negative sides do not, this is very important, where positive and negative sides do not differ much in size. So NaCl, KCl, KBr, CSCl, AgBr, etc. show Schottky defect. Am I clear to you? Now Frankel defect. This is also a defect, stoichiometric defect, shown by ionic crystal. Now Frankel defect arises when an ion, generally a cation, leaves its lattice site. Cation is leaving its lattice site. Okay, leaving its lattice site, but anion is not going. Only the cation is leaving its lattice site. Where it will go? It will go and occupy interstitial site. You just see the figure. See here also. This says this one is missing. This one is missing. This is a cation, positive charge. Now where it has gone. See that it has gone here. Here. This is an interstitial site. This is an interstitial site. Okay? See this figure. See this figure. Now the cation is moving from here to here. From here it is moving from here to here. You can see this is moving from here to here. The blue one is the cation. So it is moving from one place to another place, that is the interstitial site. Now cation being smaller get displaced to interstitial site. Now the cation being smaller get displaced to interstitial voids. Combination of vacancy and interstitial atom is creating vacancy also and interstitial atom. No change in the density because the cation is not going anywhere. It is remaining inside the crystal. It is only changing its position. It is showing by AgI, CaF2, all this. Now, this Frank defect, is generally observed in those ionic compounds in which crystal structure poses low coordination number. Okay, and then this is also again very important, and the negative ions are much larger than the positive ion. In Schottky defects, there was not a much difference between the positive and the negative ion, NaCl. But in Frankel defect, the negative ions are much larger than the positive ion. The cations here are smaller, very smaller in size. Frankel defect are not common in alkali metal halides, that is NaCl or KCl. It is not very common in that. NaCl, KCl, all these things will show Schottky defect, not the Frankel defect, because alkali metal ions are quite large in size. Alkali metal ions, sodium, potassium, they are quite large in size, and hence they do not like to occupy small interstitial sites. Frankel defect are common in silver halide. This is very important. Silver halide, namely AgCl, AgBr, AgI. Okay, they are also found in ZnS crystal. Now, AgBr exhibit both Frankel and Schottky defect. Okay, but silver, when the cation is silver, then mostly it is showing the Frankel defect. This may be noted that due to both Schottky and Frankel defects, electrical conductivity of the crystal increases, because you can understand very well there is a movement of the electron, cation, anion, everything is moving, electrons are moving, because both of these defect holes are created. Okay, electrons from adjacent atom, what is happening if the hole is creating, then inside the crystal only this thing is happening, that electrons from the adjacent atom occupy these holes. It is coming from the adjacent atom, the electrons will come and occupy that hole, and in this the process produce again new hole. If suppose one electron is coming and occupy a hole, a new hole will be created. This is how electrons move within the crystal, and the electrical conductivity increases. Electrical conductivity increases. I think it is clear to you. You have understood that. See the figure. In this figure, the cation A plus is moving to interstitial position. Now, because of that, the vacancy is created. To fulfill that, from other points, the electron will come. As the electron will come there, it will create a hole, new hole. Okay, so this is your Frankel defect. Now, this one already I have discussed. Then again, let me just read once what is written here. Conduction of current by the crystal. Now you can very well understand why the current will pass in the crystal, because of that hole, because the electron will move from one hole to another hole, and that is why the electrical conductivity will be set up. Due to both Schottky and Frankel defect, the electrical conductivity of the crystal increases. This is due to the presence of the holes in the crystal lattice, which come into existence on account of those defects. When an electric field is applied, an ion moves from its lattice side and occupy the nearby hole. This results in the formation of a new hole, as I told you. A nearby ion moves into it again, and so on. Thus, the process continues and the current is conducted by the crystal. Now, in this slide, I have given you the difference between the Schottky and the Frankel defect. Please, you go through it. You can do it on your own, this one, and just see the figure. This is given for the Frankel defect. See, one atom, one cation is moving, jumping to the interstitial point here. This one, the cation is moving here, and here in the Schottky defect, one anion and one cation both places are vacant. That is Schottky defect. Okay, for this one the density is no change in the density. For this one the density will decrease. Okay, and here no imbalance of the charge because the cation is remaining here. It is not going any other place for Frankel defect. The cation is only going from one place to another place, that is the interstitial point. But here the anion is missing and the cation is missing, so both of them they counterbalance each other, so there is no stoichiometric difference. Now we will start with non-stoichiometric defect. Stoichiometric defect, all we have finished. In stoichiometric defect, ionic and non-ionic crystals, all we have discussed. Now we will start with non-stoichiometric defect. When the ratio of the number of positive and negative ions get disturbed by the defect present in the crystal, the ratio of the positive and the negative ions will not remain same. It is getting disturbed, and then that defect is referred to as non-stoichiometric defect. In this case, the ratio of the cation and the anions are different from the ideal chemical formula of the compound. The ratio of the cations and the anions are different from the ideal chemical formula of the compound. However, even in non-stoichiometric compound, the balance of the positive and the negative charges are maintained. That is maintained, or in other words, electrical neutrality is maintained. I'll show you how. I'll explain it to you. The compound achieves neutrality either by acquiring extra electron or extra positive charge. If it is imbalance, if the balance is not there, if the ratio is not same for the positive and the negative, either it has to take extra electron or it has to take extra positive charge. How it is happening, that I will discuss. The stoichiometric defect come into existence either due to the presence of excess metal or non-metal ion. Non-stoichiometric defect thus may be categorized into three. One is metal excess defect due to anion vacancy. Metal excess. Why? Because anion vacancy. That means anion will move. Now metal excess due to interstitial cation. That means in interstitial position one cation will be added. And metal deficiency. The metal deficiency will be there because the cation places will be vacant. How? What is happening? I am coming to that. This is a flow chart. Non-stoichiometric defect. Three types as I told you. Anion vacancy. See, there is a vacancy, anion vacancy. Now this is interstitial anion or cation. Now see this interstitial cation. Anion is also there, but we will talk about the interstitial cation only. And cation vacancy. See, here is one vacancy. Cation vacancy. Okay. These three are the non-stoichiometric defect. Non-stoichiometric defect due to metal excess, that is anion vacancy. Anion vacancy, that means one anion will be missing. This type of defect arises when an anion is missing from its lattice side, creating a hole. It is creating a hole. You can see that it is creating a hole. And the hole is occupied by an electron. Hole will be created, but that hole will be occupied by an electron to maintain the electrical neutrality of the crystal. This type of defects are common in those crystals which are likely to possess Schottky defects. For example, alkali metal halide, that is NaCl or KCl crystal. The electron trapped in anion vacancies are called F centers. Now, before this, let me just explain something to you. This type of defect are common which are likely to possess Schottky defects, as I told you. For example, alkali metal halide crystal. When alkali metal halides are heated, what is happening, just listen to me. When alkali metal halide, suppose NaCl, is heated in an atmosphere of alkali metal vapor. Alkali metal halide NaCl is heated in presence of presence in an atmosphere of alkali metal vapor. Then that alkali metal, that means sodium, in presence of the sodium vapor. Now that sodium is coming and forming a coating over the NaCl. Okay, and then what is happening? The chloride ion which was there in NaCl will come out from that layer of NaCl and it will try to trap Na. Okay, that Na vapor which is following a coating. That Na vapor is making a coating over NaCl. Now from that NaCl, Cl minus will come out because it's the electron, because we are heating, so it is getting energy, more energetic. So the chloride ion will come out and it will try to make a bond with NaCl. So it will ionize the sodium vapor, that sodium atom. So in that case, it will release electron. And that electron will come and take this place, this hole. When an ion is missing. Okay, this hole will be taken by that electron which is coming out from the sodium, because it is ionizing. The chloride ion will ionize the sodium of that sodium vapor. As it will ionize, it will make it Na plus. That means electron will come out. That electron will come and take this place. I think it is clear to you now. The electron trapped in anion vacancies, now that electron which is coming here, that means it is jumping from one level to another level. So it is having an energy that is known as, it is called F centers. This is called F centers. Okay. Now this F centers, F stands for Farbe. Now it is a German word meaning color or color center or color centers, because they impart color to the crystal. The trapped electron is delocalized. Now this electron is delocalized. That means it can move and may absorb light to make an easy transition from ground state to an excited state. And when it is doing that, it imparts color to the crystal. And this is known as metal excess or anion vacancy. Am I clear to you, children? Non-stoichiometric defect due to metal excess interstitial cations. That means one cation will be in the interstitial position. Now see that this type of defect arises when an extra positive ion present in an interstitial site. The electrical neutrality is maintained by the presence of an electron in some other interstitial site. See here this figure, this is one cation is present in the interstitial site. There is another anion which is present in the interstitial site. This type of defect is usually observed in those crystals which are likely to develop Frankel defect. The example is ZNO. Now see what is happening. When ZNO is heated, it is giving you Zn2 plus and 2 electron is coming out and O2. O2 will release in the atmosphere. The excess of Zn2 plus, this one, the excess of Zn2 plus ion thus formed get accommodate in the interstitial site. The Zn2 plus will come, this will accommodate here in this position. And the electron get trapped in the neighboring interstitial position. This electron will trapped here in this position. Due to the presence of free electrons, a crystal of non-stoichiometric ZNO shows yellow color and exhibit enhanced electrical conductivity. Is it okay, children? Next is non-stoichiometric defect due to metal deficiency, cation vacancy. That means you can understand now that from the position one cation will be missing and it is making a hole. Now how the electrical neutrality is maintained for that type of crystal? Let us see. This type of defect is generally found in compound of those metal which are able to show variable valency. This is important. This is variable valency. This defect arises when a positive ion metal, that is metal ion, is missing from its normal lattice site. See, this is a missing, creating a hole. And the charge is balanced. Now the charge, the positive charge is not there. So there is a less number of positive charge. So how the charge is balanced? The charge is balanced by a nearby metal ion having higher positive charge because it is a variable valency. See here, this cation is having a variable valency, +2 charge. There is a +2 charge, A2 plus. This type of, that is in higher oxidation state, it can be formed. The crystal can be formed in this way because it is showing this type of defects is showing by the compound of those metals which are showing variable valency. So this crystal can come out in that way that one cation is having a in a higher oxidation state. This type of defect is generally found in compounds of those metals which are able to show variable valency. That is transition metals. And the crystal of FeO, FeS, NiO, all these Fe, iron, nickel, all are transition element. Shows this type of defect. I think it is clear to you. So I have discussed all the type of stoichiometric defect and non-stoichiometric defect with you. Till now we have completed that. Lattice defect. When the deviation from the periodic arrangement occur in certain microscopic region of the lattice. The defects are referred to as lattice imperfections or lattice defect. The lattice defects are of two types. One is line defect and another is plane defect. What is line defect? When the periodicity of the atomic lattice get disturbed along certain direction in a crystal. The next slide I will show you. The defect is known as line defect. And plane defect, when the periodicity of the lattice get disturbed along the lattice plane within a plane. The defect is termed as plane defect. Line defect. Defects that produce due to the misalignment of atoms in a crystal. Line defect produce two types of dislocation, edge dislocation and screw dislocation. Screw dislocation we will not do, but edge dislocation, that is also not very important. Just I am telling you, this is not in your portion also, but just I am explaining it to you. Edge dislocation are caused by the termination of a plane of atom in the middle of the crystal. Just see that here, this one. This is showing the termination of a plane of atom. The adjacent plane are not straight. Now see that this one is also not straight. 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 There is a defect. A defect caused. See that from here. You can see the figure. But instead bend around the edge of the terminating plate so that the crystal structure is perfectly ordered on either side. Am I clear? This is known as line defect. Line defects, you can see the figure. In this figure, you can understand that there is a termination. Here is a termination. And you see the figure, it is distorted one. The crystal is not the regular arrangement. It is the irregular arrangement of the crystal. The arrangement is irregular. It is, the lines are becoming crooked. Okay, the line defects are the irregularities or deviation from ideal arrangement in the entire row of the lattice point. Interatomic bonds significantly distorted in intermediate vicinity or dislocation line. Okay, dislocation affect the mechanical properties. You can see the figure. With the figure only you can understand that there is a full distortion of the crystal, and this is known as line defect. When the irregularities or the deviation from the in the entire row of the lattice point. Plane defect. A plane defect is a discontinuity of perfect crystal structure across a plane. Now suppose this is a plane. This is a plane. The plane, the crystals, the planes in the crystals should be like this. But suppose all on a sudden, this can happen within a crystal, okay? Suppose all on a sudden, one plane is going in this way, then again there is a bend. And then again it is going in this way. So these bend, suppose you are having a paper. Now paper is a plane. Now suppose due to some reason there is a fold. Fold is coming in a paper. So the paper will then no more remain as the straight. It will just bend in this way. So this boundary, where this boundary is meeting, that this boundary is known as, there is a boundary. So in case of the crystal, this boundary, because this is the plane, this is a plane, but it is not moving in this way. Maybe it is just bending in this way. So this boundary for a crystal is known as grain boundary. Grain boundary. See the figures, it is given. These are the planes. A grain boundary is a general planar defect that separates regions of different crystalline orientation within a polycrystalline solid. You need not to know all these things about in so detail. Just you come to know that these are the planes. If it is going for a particular arrangement of a crystal, the plane should go like this, or the plane should be in like this. It's a regular arrangement. Suppose it is going, I'm talking about a particular plane. Suppose I'm talking about this plane. This plane is after moving in this way, this plane is moving in this way. Now after going to a certain distance, this plane is bending in this way. Okay, so it is no more remain as the plane, full regular plane. So this defect, there is a defect, this is known as plane defect, and this boundary is known as, for the crystalline solid, this boundary is known as grain boundary. If you'll know up to this much, that is enough. Now with this, I'm ending lecture 5 here. In the next lecture, that is in lecture 6, we will do imperfections caused by impurities that we have not discussed in this lecture, and electrical and magnetic properties of the solid, that will be discussed in lecture 6. And with these two topics, this solid state chemistry will be finished.